Hey, well, welcome back. Welcome back to our review of Put a Ring on It, Season 3, Episode 10, One Last Date. How's everybody?
I'm good.
Hey, yeah, I'm good, Aubrey. Jeremy, what's up? What's
Yeah,
up,
I'm
everybody?
doing
Yeah, what's
well.
up, Jeremy?
Not much, I'm just working and I've been going out a lot. So I've been kind of tired on top of me working these long hours, but it's whatever.
Are you
I'm
tired,
young.
Jeremy, or hungover? Which one is it?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Speaking of Lord, hey, Mod Afro Mama and all our chat family, those of you that are hiding out in them bushes, come on out of them bushes and chat with us, okay? Oh,
Wow.
boy, this was quite an interesting episode. We're one more episode away from the season finale. And Kenneth wanted to show his natural born behind. Oh my goodness.
Sure did. He sure
Oh,
did.
oh my goodness. He was acting up and acting out.
With those old sorry ass drunken cartwheels. What was he doing?
I have no idea. My thing was, he was all up in his woman's face, and cursing her out, calling her everything but a child of God. That was my thing. I didn't care about his cartwheel.
Sure did.
I was like,
So
man, what's going on here?
so where you want to start, Aubrey? You want to start there, or you want to go step by step?
No, we'll go step by step because that's the finale. But it opens up with of course all three couples and Dr. Ponytail, faithfully in their counseling therapy session, for premarital counseling, I guess. And it looks like Charlie decides that she's going to go on one last date with the guy Chris, what is it, the Odell Beckham lookalike or whatever? I
Yeah.
don't know. And
Yeah.
and then Otis, of course, just to be ever so petty, decides that he's going to go out on a date with Cherie with his non-conversational behind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why are you even dating, dude? You don't even have no conversational skills. You really need to go ahead and try to trick Charlie into marrying you, because nobody else is gonna put up with your boring butt.
Yeah. I'm
Very boring person.
I'm eager to hear what Jeremy has to say about his girl Charlie, because she
Yeah.
talking about she going on another date with this guy for closure. What kind of closure you need? You've known the guy 2 dates.
Close her
That's the,
legs. I'm just kidding.
right, exactly. That damn that part, Jeremy.
Are you trying to, Jeremy?
That's
Are you
it.
trying to say that Charlie is hot for Chris? Is that what you're trying to say?
It seems that she's a little bit heated,
Yeah.
Maybe
She's
she's ready
roasting.
for
She's roasting at
for
an
some
even
new.
350.
Yeah, maybe she's ready for some new peen and eggs.
I'm trying to tell you. That was hilarious.
I was Jeremy. I kid you not. I was thinking the same thing. The only clothes she got to focus on is them legs. That's it. Because I don't understand that. I mean, she does like this guy. I think she liked this guy because he's fun. He's different.
Yeah.
You know,
He's got a conversation. He can actually put a string of sentences together. Unlike her boyfriend, I don't know how you could be with somebody for 3 years and sit and have dinner, breakfast, and lunch with this person and live in the house, and he can't even hold a conversation. I swear, he cannot.
Aubrey, to Otis's defense now, because he was being petty, okay, because he wouldn't have went on that next date had Charlie not went out with this guy again.
And had she decided to go on a date with her man, right?
Right. Otis wouldn't have went. Okay. But he decided to turn around and go because he wanted to be petty. Okay. But to his credit, he was not focused on a young lady who's a very pretty young lady.
But that's not to his credit, but actually to me.
But I'm not finished talking yet, though.
All right. Okay.
So, but what's the young lady's name? He was dating?
That was Cherie.
Cherie, right? Who's a very beautiful young lady, very shapely. Your
type, not his, clearly.
Yeah, my type, and she got that behind. Woo, she got a behind on her. But here's the thing: he was so focused on what Charlie was doing, his mind wasn't at his date. To me, he was distracted, worrying about what she may or may not be doing. To me, what do you think, Jeremy?
No, before you ask Jeremy what he thinks, because let's come back over here now that you finished your statement. I dare anybody to offer me any type of proof that Otis has any conversation other than being petty. He is not a conversationalist. And when I said last week, when I asked the question, I thought he was unintelligent. He may not be unintelligent. He definitely does not have conversational skills. Boring.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you. And he's a terrible communicator. Communicator.
That's it.
So I agree with that. But I'm saying for this particular date, he was very distracted, worrying about what Charlie was doing, because had it not been for Charlie going out with this guy, Otis would not have been there with this young lady. He would not have been there at all.
I think we would have just seen a further exploration of the fact that he has no conversational skills, because, again, I dare anybody to bring me any kind of proof from this season that man has conversational skills, even with his woman. He does not. And I have a problem with that.
Yeah. Jeremy, your girl Charlie, what do you think about her going out with this guy again? What do you think her modus operandi is with this guy?
Well, I want to go over two things. I want to go over both of their dates. Like, I felt so bad for Cherie. I was like, dang, my Cherie Moore. Like, he went on a date with you and he said, like, thank you for helping me realize that, I don't want to date anybody else. I want to date my girlfriend. I was like, and she was just so proud of herself. I was like, sis, you've been flirting and been doing all of this, and all he said, all of that you did helped him realize that he didn't want you or anybody else. I was like, that's pretty embarrassing. It was, and then when she kept on trying to make conversation, he was like, can you please shut up so I can eat this food? Like, it was given like he was over her talking, and he glowed up when they started talking about Charlie, because at this point, like I told y'all before, he is not taking nobody seriously. He know Charlie bad. He is not trying to lose Charlie. Like, no matter what girl they bring, is not like, she has not been on Charlie's level yet, to me, at least physically. So
right, maybe physically, yeah.
I feel that, he feels the same way, so, but as far as like Charlie's day, it was just like, real odd. She was up there like, so I'm just trying to let you know that I told my boyfriend about you, and I showed him your Instagram, and like I showed him how you look.
Jeremy?
I was like,
Jeremy? What's the purpose of that?
I don't know. I was like, I feel like at this point, like they have like a little petty game of tennis going, a little tit for tat, and I can't take it. It's giving petty. It's giving the fact that Otis wasted that girl's time, made her get all dressed up just to tell her that he helped her realize that he don't want nobody, including her. I was like, dang, that is very embarrassing. Y'all really need to stop dragging people into this. And the Chris dude, he just want the draws at this point. Yeah. He trying to take down Charlie. He know Charlie bad too. Like, it ain't a lot of Charlies walking around,
And you know what he said? He said, you're going to be calling me for a fourth date. That's how confident he is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he knows that he actually has a conversation. So clearly she's not accustomed to that. So it probably turned her on. It probably got her, wet.
Yeah, right. She obviously likes him. She thinks he's exciting.
She could put her hands through his hair without scooping the hairline off him. She has a lot to be, she's attracted to him. Charlie can't get too close to Otis's hairline.
That's not nice.
No, because all that Beijing will come off. All that hair can spray paint for men will come off, which means that Chris probably has a higher testosterone level, so he may be bringing a little bit more strength to the party.
You guys are something else.
I'm just saying, at this point, Otis, just let it go. It's okay. It's okay to be bald headed. Join the
He got a
club.
funny
Like,
shaped head though, so he ain't gonna do well with the
I
bald
mean,
headedness
would
of
you
it
have
all.
rather have a funny shaped head or a funny shaped hairline? You can't help how God built you, but the hairline you can edit. Like, come on. Like this is it's getting bad. It's almost like his hair, like his hairline is transparent. Like I can see everything that's on his mind.
Mm.
Okay, guys. Well, let's go back. Let's back up a little bit. We got to the dates, but we jumped ahead a little bit. Okay, so I'm curious to hear what the men folks think about the wedding dresses try on. So we started with your girl Charlie, Jeremy. She was up there trying on her wedding dress and looking quite gorgeous. What were your thoughts?
Oh, like it's just something about Charlie. She was like, oh my God, I'm trying not to cry. Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I'm trying. Hold on. I'm trying to keep tears. Hold on. I was like, Charlie, you is not emotional about this. You don't let this. You know you're not going to marry this man. Like,
no, not at all.
And she was like, she just kept on saying, "I'm about to cry." Like, I would have never thought that I would be in this. Like, yeah, why didn't you think you would be in a wedding dress? You just wedding dress you just trying them on. It ain't like you're walking down the aisle. You could just easily go into a bridal shop and just try on dresses if that's the case. But
all that performing
is giving Tyler Perry play.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Maybe she's a low key. Maybe she's an actress. I never heard her say what she does for a living. So maybe these folks are. She may be one on because we know that Kenneth is an actor.
Yeah, and the award goes to because.
Okay, now what about your girl Shay? They were talking about Shay even in the wedding dress. She still had body. So what did you think about that, Alex? What did you think about your girl Shay in that dress? Was she beautiful or what?
She was gorgeous. She can't hide that no matter what she wear. She can't hide that.
Okay.
So she's a beautiful woman. She's a little dense, not too bright, but very beautiful woman.
I'm wondering about all their intelligence at this point. Okay, and last but not least, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think that this whole episode that not Charlie, but Shay looked gorgeous the whole episode. Like she was like, if it wasn't for the bodysuits, it would like I told y'all, Shay like when Shay want to be classy and she ain't trying to fight, she wear the straight wig. When she trying to act ratchet, that's when she pull out the curly one. So she was wearing like the bone straight wig this whole episode, and she was calm.
She did.
Yeah, like and I was like, but when she put on that dress, I was like, I hated the train. I was like, that train is ugly. It's like it's just so big and ruffly. I was like, this isn't in it. And I was like another thing, I think that Shay is really, really pretty, but it's just the the Mr. Potato Head veneers for me. They're so thick.
Don't you mean Miss Potato Head, right?
Oh yeah, Miss Potato Head. It's just like it's like the teeth are so big. Like she can't she almost can't close her mouth without being uncomfortable.
Yeah. That whole wedding thing, and Shorty know better. Shorty had no business even putting a dress on. She should have just came in.
I knew Shorty was going to be the one to look a fool in a dress. I was like, everybody is getting 10s, but I know as soon as Shorty put that dress on, it's going to go down to a 5. I was like,
don't you dare do my girl like that. Wait a minute.
Like that dress did not flatter her body at all. That dress looked too big for her. It was just, and then on top of that, she didn't even feel like wearing it. Like when Dr. Nicole, Dr. Ponytail basically told them they had to go wedding dress shopping, she was the first one side-eyeing.
She's so little, she gonna need a special kind of fit for her.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Does anybody know how tall she actually is? And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm very kind of like the word, I guess, like curious about her, because she seems like she's just a few inches above being like a little person.
She might be 4'11". 4'11". She's
my goodness.
Yeah, she might be under 5 feet. You
Yeah,
know,
she's
she's
definitely
very
like
Well,
little.
she's
kinda
definitely, I think she's definitely under 5 feet. And then what's so crazy about it? Okay, fine. I mean, God created us all different, and that's fine. Again, I'm not trying to poke fun at her. I'm really not. I think she's very beautiful, but she is so tiny. The killer part is though that her man is what, like 6'4"?
Mm. Well,
yeah.
that's
Like
well,
Kenneth is tall.
that's the fun part. You could throw her up, spin her around during sex. Throw her on the other side of the room,
Mm.
let her bounce back towards you. You know that kind of
Let
stuff.
her
It's
let her
fun.
bounce
You
back.
sound you sound
Let her
crazy.
like
You sound very
You
crazy
look
there.
like Alex.
You
Like
sound very crazy. Oh my Lord.
Alex. It's
What?
enough. It's
Ooh, that
enough.
street don't never lead to it.
I like
You ever see the size of Shorty's head? She could throw her against the wall. She'll bounce right back to you.
but like I'm done. I can't do this.
Moving forward. Okay, so we're now on Shay and Fonzo's love and hip hop date. Baby Rick Ross and Cardi S. Okay,
There
so
you go.
so
There you go, Aubrey.
so,
There you go.
Jeremy, what were your thoughts about that date?
It's just something about the way that the women were talking all episode. Like Shay was up there like, so Fonzo, so you she was like, so you really didn't so she really didn't know Fonzo. And I don't feel like you being really truthful with me, Fonzo. And I just really thought you was on that bull crap, Fonzo. Okay,
And
Fonzo, we'll see, Fonzo.
why she gotta keep saying his name like we don't know his name? Why she gotta
I
keep...
don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure
Maybe
out.
they're trying to promote his career. Who knows? But I mean, I think she really she's letting him know, look, this is it, buddy. You better poop or get off the pot.
Baby, did y'all see? Wait a minute. I don't know if they had like the super lights on on Alfonso, but Alfonso was dripping wet. Like he looked like he just came out of a Mississippi lake. Like it was bad. Like the sweat was literally dripping down his head, and he bald headed. So it for a moment it kind of looked like he was greased up. And then they did a cutaway, and then it came back, and his head was like cleaned off. Like, is it the fact that it's warm? Is it the fact that like he's overweight, or is it like I don't see? Because to me, he's wearing all of these. He's wearing a whole bunch of flowy dresses. With the cleavage out. I wouldn't imagine he'll be this hot to be.
Not the cleavage.
Yeah, he was hot. Like he was so wet. He was burning up.
Them lights are hot though. Them lights are hot.
Yeah,
but like, I can't. I was wondering. I was like, this is crazy. He looks like he is melting.
But you ain't like the chain on his sweaty chest. You ain't like that, Jeremy.
Nah, it's just something about man cleavage. I'm not about that life. I don't want to be lumped in.
That's sexy.
Don't ever get middle aged. Then that's all I got to say.
That's it.
Stay fit. Do that Marine program and keep doing those push-ups if you don't want them pecs to droop later in life.
Them women in the chat, do y'all like Alfonso's shirt open with the chain? Is that sexy to y'all? Anybody in the chat? I want to know.
Fonzo be giving décolletage.
What you know? That's my word. Get out of here, Jeremy. Speak. Décolletage. All right. Enough of that. All right.
But you know what I want to talk about, Aubrey, real quick? Because Jeremy had brought this.
About the date.
Jeremy had brought this up, and I'm talking about Shay's cat suit was. Oh, she looked good in that suit. And I'm gonna tell you something. That camel toe was pumping.
Guys. Okay,
that camel toe was pumping.
Enough, Alex. Look,
it was Jeremy. You know it.
You gonna get us banned?
No. Like his language. I'm telling you, he is from the streets. This man has not changed. He's not been reformed.
Did you see it, Jeremy?
I'm not about to be talking about camel pieces. Like we just gotta.
Thank you, Jeremy. Have some respect over there, Alex.
She the one wore the outfit. I'm just talking about her outfit.
No, you're talking about more than her outfit. You're talking under her clothes, which is very disrespectful, sir.
I'm not gonna hold you though. She really did fill out that body.
Sure
like she was looking good. Like
she really looked nice.
Like she looked good. The whole episode.
Yeah.
But see, I love the way Shay looked from episode 1. I always told y'all that. Aubrey, get on my case about it. but I've
What?
always loved the way that woman looked.
Who?
You
Talking
know,
I
about
like the
Shay?
way that she.
Shay.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
I
yeah, I
mean,
know that's your type. I don't get on
Mm-hmm.
you about it. Like who you like, because when my man come on the screen, I'ma holler too.
Yeah, Fonzo, that's your man right there.
No, he's not my type at all.
oh
Oh,
no, because you remember the last episode of this, like you were saying how you thought
I
Fonzo
said
was attractive.
he's a decent looking man. You know, you're talking. See, okay. Here's the thing about women, and here's the thing about me specifically, but also I think about many women. We're able to discern between there's a guy that's acceptable in attractiveness that we will date. If we
Oh,
like that person, men gotta be like, oh, she gotta be like for example, you got a type, which is Charlie. Alex has a type, which is a Shay type. Okay, those are very definitive types. Okay, women are more free thinking than men are in that respect. That's what I'm saying. But no, he's not my type, but I can look at him and say he's a decent looking man. Would I push somebody over to get next to him? No way.
yeah,
But
because
he's a decent looking man.
he's not an ugly guy by no stretch. I don't know.
But Jeremy doesn't like the way he looks because he has a
Right.
specific type, and this is what
Right.
we're talking about. But
Right.
see, women have learned over time, and due to social conditioning, we're a lot more free thinking with that. Men are the ones that focus on looks and not anything else.
It's just like Aubrey, just like on Love and Marriage DC. You think Chris Samuels is an attractive man, and then it wasn't popular when you said it. You know, I think he's an okay looking dude.
Yeah,
You know?
I have a type. He doesn't fit into my normal type, Chris Samuels. I'm talking about,
Right?
But he all right to me because I know what's up under all of that. So I'm good. I know what it's like to be with somebody that has worked out for 10s and 20, 30 years, and they got all those layers of muscle. So I like that. I like what he brings to the table in terms of his physicality. Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as we move on, speaking of Fonzo, before it gets too warm over here. Speaking of Fonzo, in the next scene, Fonzo has to call his child's mother. And lo and behold, now that he's ready to rectify everything, he thinks that all it takes is I'm sorry, and let's push forward, and I want you to meet my new girlfriend. And Jeremy, what are your thoughts on how he handled that whole phone call?
Okay, I'll be fair. I think that he tried to handle it as good as possible. But the thing is, when you a liar, when you a cheat, and you a dirty, good for nothing man, you ain't gonna say all the details of what you did. And I feel like that's what the lady was trying to say. Like, you sit here saying all of these generalities when you have this camera around, but you're not really ready to get into the real about how you was still with me and then you left me for Shay. I don't think you're ready to talk about that. You're not trying to. That's why none of the stuff that you saying is sincere. But he was trying, his best, I guess, without having to say all of, that on camera, because. But then again, I'm trying to figure out about the girlfriend, about the wife. I mean, is that his wife or his baby mama?
No, he wasn't married to her.
I like to
say
baby mama. His child's
okay,
mother.
well, what a baby mama. I was like, you sitting here sounding all like, resentful, but where was all of that resentment when you went on a vacation with him in another country while he was still with Shay?
Well, see, this is why she was so angry on the phone, Jeremy. This is why.
I was like, sis, if you mad because you lost the bag, just say that. But at the end of the day, sis, to me, it seems that this is a repetitive cycle for him. So I don't think you lose them how you get them, or you get them how you lose them, or something like that.
How you get them is how you lose them. Yeah, that's an expression.
She almost sounded just like Shay to me. Honestly, they sounded quite alike. I was like, oh, I will be very interested to see what she looks like too. Maybe he has a type. Or maybe, Shay is outside of the norm of what he's had in the past, and it's real different when you have like that BBL energy next to you.
But you talk about sweating bullets. I mean, he was sweating during that phone call. He really was sweating because his baby mother, I believe her name was Jewel, right? She was not letting him off the hook easy. And then it wasn't just because she was trying to get him to he's trying to explain to her, oh, I'm different. I'm addressing things now. We got to merge families. And one big thing for Jewel was, one, he didn't end their relationship right. He hasn't been upfront and honest all these years. And she don't believe that is right to introduce Shay to their child before he introduces Shay to her, the mother. Okay? Because the mother wants to know, who is this woman that's going to be around my child? Okay? So Alfonso had an issue this whole time introducing anybody to Shay for some reason. So I don't know what the big pullback was in that, but the young lady on the phone, Jewel, was very angry with him because he's been keeping that door open. That phone call was very telling. Her anger, her intensity was very telling to me.
Wow. So you suspect that there's been an ongoing relationship while he was in a relationship with Shay? Is that what you're saying about Fonzo?
I believe something was going on because that door was never closed.
Yeah, well, I do say that men who leave doors open after you've dated and been in a relationship, they leave those doors open. Those are the men that do that for the sole purpose of continuing to have sex with that woman.
Shay knew she was a side chick. Shay knew it. Shay knew it. That's why she's always so upset when he's around other women, because she know the same thing that he did to the baby mama, he can do to her. That's why, when she leaves, she don't stay gone for too long. She'll come right back like Kenneth does, like, being knocking right at the door again, because she knows that she could be replaced. At the end of the day, he he's really shiesty. And it's really sad the way
That's
that
a good
he
word
has
for him.
Yeah, that he's really broke that woman. Like whoever that woman was on the phone, it was giving me diary of a mad black woman.
Ooh.
I never trusted you.
Ooh, Lord. Oh my God. You bring up some really good points because yeah, like I said, guys that leave these doors open, ladies, if you're listening, you're watching now, pay attention. You with a guy, I close doors. When I leave relationships, I close the door. That's not to say in some cases, in a very good situation, we can't be friends at some point, but it's best to me when you leave a relationship to just get all the way out. I like to get all the way out. I like to get all the way out, because when I get my new guy, guess what? He ain't gonna want me to be around you no more. So let me just end this. Let's just end this now. Whether you end it or whether I end it, let's just close that door, and it ain't gonna be no hopping back in the bed or nothing like that. So let's just call it a wrap.
Yeah, because if healness has to happen before friendship can even be considered. You have to heal first. So nobody can break up one day and friends the next day. That it just doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
Too many emotions and intimacy and all this stuff involved. So you need time away to heal, and then maybe, and it's not in all cases, but maybe you could be friends somewhere down the road. But that's never immediate. Never.
No, it's not. I had a former fiance. We were together for a period of time, and when it ended, I even though I knew I was doing some things intentionally to push him away, like saying and doing things that were I normally wouldn't do, and being rude and not being acting out of my character to get him away from me. And it worked, because so he went on and got himself together, got not saying he wasn't together, but got away from me. We completely broke up. He went on and dated other people. I dated other people. And months later, we were able to laugh and talk about the people we were dating separate from one another. And to this day, we are the best of friends. But I had to do that because he was just going to hang in there. And I was like, no, it's over with.
So what you doing?
We're not going to do this thing where we go back and forth, because I'm like this. When it's over, it's over. I don't believe in, we're on again, off again, on again, off again. Once we're off, we're off. That's it.
So you were doing what Shorty was doing.
No.
Just taking jabs at him and getting him to leave and all that kind of stuff.
I did what I needed to do without going into details, Alex. I did what I needed to do, what I knew that would get him from that spot, because he was so deeply in love with me. I did what I needed to do. I'm not saying that I did what Shorty did. Shorty is Shorty, and I'm Aubrey. So two different people.
Yeah, you taller.
And so the next thing on our list. So guys, what did you think of Shorty and Kenneth's date? Their yoga cuddling, which I've done yoga for years. I've never heard of yoga cuddling. So what'd you guys make of that?
That was so cringy. I was like, what in the voyeurism is going on? I was like, it's giving like, let's do some like public play while we're being watched. I didn't like it. Was very uncomfortable. And she was like, okay, you guys go ahead and touch each other. I was like, this is not, I don't know if this should be on the OWN network. This seems like some VH1 stuff, so it was just, I don't know. I wouldn't do no yoga like that, in front of somebody. I wouldn't feel comfortable.
You don't think that you think it was a little, I mean, like the most they did it that I saw was, for the most part, besides the hug at the end, was him putting his head on her lap, which, because she's so tiny, it's kind of hard that for his head to go on her lap.
I mean, but why are you even instructing him to put his head in her lap right now? Like, I was just trying to figure out like the necessity of doing this. Like, I'm pretty sure they cuddle enough at home.
I was cringing.
No, I don't. Cringing. You know what? I don't. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. But wait a minute, listen, Jeremy. I don't know about that, because if you stop and think about it, these last couple of episodes, Kenneth and Shorty have been at odds with each other. And I think if you recall, one episode he even tried to kiss her over by the kitchen counter, and she turned her face. So I don't think they've been very physical. But I got a theory. I really believe that they were put up to this yoga cuddling specifically so that Shorty could look at him and see him as the childlike person that he resembles in her life, like his way of living, right? His expectation that she will provide for him, rather than they meet each other, they meet obligations together. And so I felt like when she looked at him, if you guys noticed, it seemed like she had an epiphany that, oh my God, like he's like a big old baby. That's what I saw. That's what I saw happen. So I thought that maybe that childlike pose was just so that she could really see, like physically see what he is to her, like literally in her life. He's like a child. She has to provide for him.
And she mentioned, she said, she want me to hug this man, and I don't really even want to touch him. I don't even want him holding my hand, much less hugging him. So those are the things that made me cringe. It's like they're forcing them to touch each other.
Yeah,
they don't want to touch each other. They really don't.
But now, since you don't want to touch him, now can we go ahead and end it? Because as we know, at the end of this, we see what actually did happen from all of that. So do you think that maybe helped them to force them to look at what the facts of their relationship are? They're no good together.
Nah, but I was really disgusted, and I thought it was completely shameful, completely embarrassing, and completely demeaning to himself for Kenneth to sit there and mosey around the bus when she wanted to ask the question. Like, she said, so, what do you feel that I want from you in this relationship? He said, for me to get the finances together, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do that. I gotta make it happen. What I'm saying. So like, she's up there like, okay, I really love to hear it. We love to hear it. But
what's the plan?
What's the plan? But like, you should have, like, when she asked, he was up there like, I got a plan. She was like, oh, you got a plan. Y'all hear the camera? He has a plan, y'all. So she said, what's the plan? What's the plan? And she just kept on asking him, so what's the plan? But at the end of the day, what's the plan? And then he's up there like, well, I got a lot of love in my heart, you know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know what the stars in aligning between what I gotta do for what I gotta do. And she's up there like, okay, but what's the plan? Why are you asking me all these questions? This supposed to be a date. I don't want to talk about this right now. Like, it's so much stuff that we can do right now. You want to talk about this? Yeah, but what about the date? What about the plan?
Yeah, I just want to love on you and do this for you, and never about a plan. Never bought a
Yes,
plan.
free stuff like peas and eggs. Basically, is what he's saying. I want to
It was
continue to
really,
offer you these peas and eggs, and you're gonna be okay with it.
But
it was really sad.
Jeremy and Aubrey, I just think that Shorty was at a point then where she was just so checked out. Even if he had a plan, she wouldn't have bought it. I just think she wants out at this point. And I think for me, the whole show was for her to figure a way to get out. Because even as he was exiting, they were still saying, "Oh, you're gonna call me? Am I gonna call you?" But they've been playing this game for 3 years, over 3 years. He leaves, she call him. They leave, he call her. He sit outside her job.
I don't think when he leaves, she calls him. I
believe she called him before. I believe she's called him before.
No, he said it at the door. He said, "Well, I'm drunk now, but do you think I'm gonna call you tomorrow?" Yeah, probably.
Like I usually do. He's like, evidently, Dr. Ponytail gave me the tools that I need to not call you back after you throw me out.
Unfortunately, she did not give him a career path. Unfortunately. Ooh, Lord. These women got to get away from. I guess it's got to be really tight in Atlanta and DC for women to put up with men with just peeing and eggs. Come on now, ladies. Got to do better.
But you know, all that tirade that he was on after this fake yoga session was a waste of film in my opinion, because it served no purpose.
Look on the screen. Look on the screen. LMV agrees with you. We can skip the yoga cuddling.
I agree, Ellen. It was a waste of film. It made no sense. So
I'm telling you guys that, but for you guys, it didn't make any sense. But psychologically, it was to help prepare Shorty to get herself together to get that man out her house, which she needed to do. We go back to our earlier episodes on this podcast, and we talked about it then, that Shorty was looking for a way. She came on this show for a reason, and that exclusive reason was to get rid of Kenneth publicly.
Right.
To embarrass him enough so that he would leave her alone.
We have spoken about that several times. We have,
and we will see. Do we see the culmination? So go ahead, Alex. Talk to us about the final scene. Talk to us about the final scene where Kenneth goes off on Shorty.
This, of course, is an example of liquid courage, bare muscles, if you want to call it, a drunk person speaking a sober mind. Everything that he could not say before because he was sober, the alcohol brought it out of him. And it's not that he wasn't being honest and saying what came out of his heart. Everything he said out of his heart to him was true. He just needed the alcohol to get it out.
What?
Okay.
He didn't say anything of worth.
And that comes from him being afraid. That comes from him being in pain. Okay. So that was a lot of pain and a lot of fear and a lot of anger all rolled up into one, because he's afraid. He's been emasculated. He's been called out. He's been belittled. He's been all these things. Okay. So now it's like, okay, I'm going to pack all my stuff. You see all them garbage bags at the end? He had all of his stuff over there.
Yeah, okay? That's right, because he was living with her. People kept saying, well, when is she going to leave? I kept saying, don't you mean him? That's her place. So I'm not leaving my place. You're going to be the one leaving.
So it's like, where is he going to go now? The fear is, where am I going to go and be a hobosexual for somebody else? I don't have one. Exactly. I don't have one on deck right now. So I got to go back out here and hunt again. So do I got to go live with my mother or my brother? Where do I have to go while I line up shelter?
The nearest shelter. So, nobody is taking people in like that, and I got a feeling that his mother don't live anywhere in that city. That's what I have a feeling, but I could be wrong.
And he busy eating chicken and drinking and acting more and more foolish, doing these fake ass cartwheels where he could have fell out and broke his damn neck.
I'm sure Shorty was praying for that.
Right. Because she on her phone the whole time, like, okay, whatever.
She was recording it, like he said. Do you recall the part where he asked her? He said, "So are you recording me leaving?" And she was. She had her iPhone and she was recording that crap. That's for court. That's for court purposes, and I don't blame her. Yeah, I don't blame her. If she wanted to get rid of him. He's a dangerous fellow.
and he was performing so bad that even the producers, I'm not sure if y'all saw this, the producers was like, Kenny, come on, man. Come on, dude, with this. You know, yeah, y'all didn't see that part? Because he was acting so bad, the producers had to step in and try to calm him down. So yeah.
Oh, I saw that. No. I was busy looking at something on to make sure this wasn't spam in my chat. But yeah, no, I saw that part. Yeah. Well, they said, well, come on now. Well, he was cursing her. He was cursing her out of her name, calling her everything but a child of God. She was an MF. She was a mofo. She was everything but a child of God. But the point of it is, you have no place to go, sir. So why are you calling me out of my name? She never called him out of his name.
And then had the audacity to say, after we break up, we probably gonna be the best of friends. Really?
No, see, that's the person I'm not going to be friends with. No, they're not going to be friends. If she has any sense, and if she wants to continue, if she wants to not get re-entangled with this person, that's the person, that's the ex that you're never friends with. He's not decent enough. He doesn't have the type of character. What does he bring to a relationship, a friendship of any sort? Nothing. He brings nothing. He has a lot of work to do before he'll be good to be in a relationship with anybody. So why would you want to be friends with him? No.
But we have to be very careful, Aubrey, and not letting Shorty off the hook either. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. No, I got some words for her. You're right.
This is a woman that will pull her drawers off because a man has a neck tattoo. Okay, this is who we're talking about.
I don't know what she's doing with her drawers, nor do I really care. But yeah, she did say that she liked the man's neck tattoo.
She said she turned on by neck tattoo. On.
Right. Okay? But again, I don't.
This is why she finds herself in the position she finds herself in with Kenneth.
Correct. I agree with you 100%
that's what I'm saying
on that. Shorty for 40 plus, Shorty is this woman that, and this is a lot of women. She's not the only one. She's not singular in this way. There are a lot of women dating like they're still in high school. And so, you play silly games, you get silly prizes. So when I say that, like if you meet a guy and just because he has a neck tattoo, and this goes back to what I was talking about with Jeremy just a second ago, a woman who only looks at how good a man looks, what is that going to do for you? Is that going to pay a bill? Is that going to hold you at night? Is that going to be a comforter? Is that going to be soothing to you? You got to look at the inner qualities, because all this outside stuff fades quickly. 20, you look good. 30, you look good. 40, okay, not as good. 50, 60, 70. What is the long-term game plan? Are you just dating people to just be dating them for entertainment? That's your thing, then knock yourself out. Are you dating for marriage? She says she came on the show talking about a show for marriage. So if you're dating for marriage, hopefully you're going to look past a neck tattoo, right?
Right.
So hopefully. You're right. You're absolutely right. When you talk about Shorty, she has the mindset. Well, like, even the first day she went out with the guy, Tavy, when she went out with Tavy and she came back and she was raving about Tavy. Oh, he's such a gentleman. He's so wonderful. And I said, you know what? This is what gets her into trouble. She talks about Kenneth being in a fantasy land. She's in a female fantasy land. She goes all on emotion because somebody's cute, because somebody pays her a little attention. He's the greatest guy since sliced bread. She hasn't looked in his background. She doesn't know what he does for a living. She doesn't know how he treated his last girlfriend. Did he beat her? Did he stab her? She don't know nothing about him, but he's the greatest guy. Come on and move in my place. Right. Stupid. Just stupid.
Very exterior woman. And she got to come off of that. She got to come off of that.
Grow up to match her own age, because it's matching half her age. It's matching teenager, half her age minus 5. Like, when you're 16, you think like that. But if you're not ever growing as a person, then there's something wrong. Jeremy, what about you? What do you think about that?
I think that, Shorty just was over it for the most part when she was having the conversation, with Kenneth. I felt that it was, it just came from a place that she was ready at this point for it to be over. Now, I don't know why she came onto the show. I mean, we can speculate and stuff like that, but yes. I'm a little bit confused by her actions and some of the stuff that she says, because in one moment she'll say that, this man has stalked her, that this man has said all of these things to her. But then, in another minute, in another way, she's saying like, they're not quite there for marriage yet. And I'm like, sis, quite? Like y'all in 2 completely different continents.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's so much that I don't understand about their dynamic, but it does really appear to me that Kenneth is unhinged. Kenneth is a big child that Kenneth doesn't want to provide. Kenneth doesn't want to do better. Kenneth just wants to rely on her. And that's why, when he was going off, like nothing that he said talking about some truth. Like it wasn't no truth into what anything that he had to say. Like all those were baseless insults. You fake, you ain't nothing, like I'm that, like I'm this and I'm that. But at the end of the day, the meat of what you guys are going through, you're not touching. Like, yeah, you could say that she's mean, you could say that like maybe she's not your type and everything else like that, but at the end of the day, why are you guys having these issues? Why haven't you tried to do anything? Why aren't you being a provider? Why aren't you financially stepping up in a relationship to avoid, all of this drama and all of these things? But you want to sit here, do cartwheels, play little childish games. Like he looked like a child. Like he looks like a 5-year-old. And y'all want to know what? I don't know if y'all know. Have y'all ever seen Bad Girls Club? I know y'all are probably
Yeah,
not.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Y'all know in Bad Girls Club, after you done beat somebody up, like and they have to escort you out the house. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like he didn't beat somebody up, and he was like, "Anyway, I'll see you at the reunion because we gonna be at it again." And it was giving like the way that he was like leaving, it was almost like giving very much Bad Girls Club. Like like he threw somebody
Ooh.
like mattress in the pool. Like so. I was like, all of this because she asked you what your plan was. That's what all of this have boiled down to, because he was upset because she wants to know the plan. We're tired of you saying words. We want to see action. Like, so all of the little childish games, like we're over it. We're tired of you doing cartwheels. We're tired of you talking in circles. We're tired of you making up excuses. We're tired of you being this hurt black man. If you were really a hurt black man and you was so tired of this lady, like, dragging you down, and maybe you shouldn't call her back after she throw your stuff out in like, trash bags.
And
You should just
when he got frustrated, Jeremy, when the trying to sweet talk her was not working anymore. Because you can tell that has gotten him over so many times in the past. He was just saying, "Oh, I just want to love on you and focus on you." And when she was not buying that, he got frustrated as hell. He
yeah,
really got
and
frustrated.
in the fact that they like the production had to basically, try to calm him down and like, separate him because he was getting all in her face. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I was like, what you
Very
gonna do?
threatening.
I was like, what you gonna do, Kenneth? You gonna hit her? Are you gonna fight her? Like what you trying to do? Like why you getting so close to her? Like I was
No,
like, it's not safe. This is not a safe environment. He needed
no.
to be escorted off of the premises, and the cops needed to be called. Like at the end of the day, Kenneth is a bum, a clown, a child, and he's ridiculous, and he should be ashamed of himself. And his mom should be ashamed of who she raised as well, because if she probably had made different choices as far as like, with him, maybe we wouldn't be getting this product, because it seems that he has no life skills. It seems that nobody has challenged him to be an actual man. Like being, and that's what I have an
Mm.
issue with. Being a man is not how deep you talk, like the swagger and your walk and everything else. Being a man is taking care of your responsibilities and being a support system for people to lean on when necessary. And he gives none of that.
Mm.
Just a clown, a
And
bum.
and
A
Bubba
full-blooded clown.
and here's the thing. Okay, she's asking him now after 3.5 years or so. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Pamela Butler. She's in the chat.
Oh, is this her right here?
Yeah, that's my cousin Pamela Butler.
That says that that Kenneth needed liquid courage. Yeah, he
Hey,
did,
Yeah,
because he
Pam.
don't have
yeah,
none of his own. He don't have a spine or a backbone or none of that, like a normal person or a normal man.
yeah. But here's the thing: as I was getting ready to say, is that where was her demanding a plan? Maybe a year and a half in, 2 years
He
in.
wouldn't have never got
Okay,
in before without having a plan. I don't understand how people move folks into their homes, their whole entire homes, and that's a whole legal matter. Now, once you move into someone's home and they get a piece of mail there, that's now their
that's
domicile.
it.
I don't
Once
I
they
don't,
get
I
some
don't
mail,
understand people. I don't understand people because I've never had nobody live with me that was not a spouse.
Once
or a
they get some
child.
mail, once they get a piece of mail, that's it. They live there. That's the law.
DeSosa says, interesting comment. DeSosa said it was his time to speak up. Go, Kenny. I don't know if you're being facetious, sarcastic, DeSosa. Yeah, it was his time to speak up, but it's been past his time to speak up and to do up. Do up. Man up, person up, adult up. Because how do you live with someone and you ain't paying your share of the bills? I don't understand that.
He said he paid bills, Aubrey,
I don't
but
care
how
what
many?
that man said is not true. He's a liar. He's a liar. Because, and then here's the thing, guys. If you really watched it and you paid careful attention, you notice the way it's edited. He only says that in his confessional when no one is around to dispute him. Why, if you a whole man and you paying bills, why aren't you saying that in the therapy sessions? You notice he never said that. Because why? Because it's not true.
And even to the point where the guys had their time out together, and Alfonso pulled him to the side and said, "Listen, bruh, you got to handle your business, man." He said, "If you handle your business, can't no woman say nothing to you." And Alfonso was 100% right with that. When they were playing pool, remember that? Remember that scene?
Right. And that's another thing. That's a whole other thing. Men don't generally step to other men to talk about you not taking care of business unless you truly are a bum. Ain't no man stepping to no other man. And these guys aren't lifelong friends. Like you can tell your lifelong friend, hey, dude, you really messing up. You know, you really a screw up. You're a hobosexual. These guys just met weeks ago.
Right.
So now you telling me these men are stepping to him to tell him that he really don't have his act together. That's why.
Right.
He does not have his act together. And he's a liar.
Why you gotta keep saying? Why you gotta keep calling the man a liar? I'm
Liar,
sure.
homosexual. And how I can tell you another reason why I can tell you why he's a go on here on YouTube. Kenneth has got a whole channel dedicated to old butt films, grainy arse films of he and Shorty. So you telling me that you're a guy, you're always predatory, you're always working off of somebody else's work. So you took a couple of little homemade videos back in the day when you guys were still sweet and together, and you profiting off of that now? Go create your own stuff.
Wow, Aubrey, please put up Monique King's comment. That is so serious.
DeSosa, I have a question for you, DeSosa.
I'm sorry. Well, right here what she says about Kenneth?
Yes.
This one?
That's absolutely bananas. Bananas.
Kenneth put up an old video of him giving Shorty $200, then immediately asking for it back. He's a bum with talent. Yeah, peeing and eggs is his talent. And that's another thing. Last night, she said to him, she said, yeah, I'm not going to even ask for all that money you owe me back or your share of rent and bills this month. So you know what? Sounds a lot like Mirla and Gil to me. I know. I don't need nobody that can't pay their rent, that can't help out. No. You're a whole hobosexual. Go find a rock to sleep up under.
I wonder how much money he owes her. I like to know that number.
It don't even matter now because she done with him, and she should have been done with him. She should have been done with him. How are women existing with men for peeing and eggs? Has it gotten that bad?
Wow.
Has it gotten that bad that you would lose your whole integrity, your whole self-esteem for some man, some broke guy like that? Really? Oh my gosh.
But see, Jeremy DeSosa says that she thinks the way Shorty speaks to him is abuse.
I was about to comment on that, but you guys.
Oh, okay. I got it up there now. The way Shorty speaks to him. Yeah, you know why? And this is in my opinion. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this is my thought, DeSosa. Again, they've been together for 3 years. They're both toxic. Now I'm going to give credit where credit is due because I think she's toxic too. But here's the thing. She brought him on this show and she devised a plan in her mind as women who are in dangerous, precarious positions have to do. Sometimes you have to devise a plan because if this is a whole man that's stalking you when you move out to another place and now he's following you for work to find out where you live, and I don't know what kind of crazy way how she let him in and how he got back in there. Maybe she invited him in for some peeing and eggs and he just stayed for the rest of the next 2 years. I don't know. Because, see, I don't do that. I don't let people come in my house. I don't let people move in on me, okay? But anyway, getting back to the abuse part, I believe that she spoke to him specifically that way and emasculated him as part of her plan to get him upset enough to do what he did last night. That was all her playing chess. She needed that man out, and she needed him out in front of production to be safe. And that's what happened. So now hopefully she's got the smarts and she's put some legal ramifications in place to keep him away from her. And she has the good sense to stay away from him. Block his number. Let that man go. He is no good for her. He is a child. He's not even a man. He's a male. Monique says peeing in hot wings last night. It was peeing in hot wings. You are so wrong
exactly.
for that. You are so wrong for that peeing in hot
wings. You know what? Actually, last night it was peeing in hot wings. He was eating hot wings and drinking beer and drinking liquor and eating wings. That's what.
That made me think of that place, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh my goodness. But Jeremy, what do you think about the Sosa's comment?
I think it's like, well, respectfully, I disagree. Like, I'm saying, like, you think it's okay for him to verbally disrespect her like that, like calling her all types of B words, telling her that he ain't that she ain't nothing and everything else like that. But just because maybe she was harsh and she was being honest with him, but she wasn't like verbally, you know, just tearing him down like that, like, you know, basically just insulting him, like, you know, calling him out of his name. Whereas like all he was doing was calling her out of her name, saying, and then you doing it in my house. How you gonna disrespect me in my house? You don't pay any bills here. And if you're a man,
doing it in her house. He's been doing it in her house. He's been doing that in her house.
That's besides the point. But I'm saying, like, to the Sosa, like, that this man has literally been disrespecting her, like, not only verbally, now that we see it, but through other aspects as well. He has stolen her bank account information. He's like taking stuff. He's taken stuff from her. He's stolen from her and everything else of the sort. So if she's fed up and she's calling him out for being a bum and dating above his means, then, you know, that's just the truth. I'm not gonna sit here and cheer him on, you know, for calling her out of her name, because all she did was ask what the plan was. Nothing that she did in this episode warranted him talking to her like that. He should have did that when she embarrassed him in front of the whole, you know, the rest of the couples. But now he's doing this because all she wants to do is ask what the plan is. It don't make any sense for him to even do that.
Had he been sober, he wouldn't have done it.
Exactly, and that's what makes him even more of a bum and a punk. Like you gotta have liquid courage to say all of this to somebody that's 4'11".
or 10 or 9.
Right.
No, she's very tiny. And exactly, that's a very good point, Jeremy. Thank you for saying that. Like you said, if he was going to curse her out or say whatever, why, again, see, that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. You guys are pointing out, it's amazing to me how society is conditioned to coddle men. Think about that for a second. Women came out of a rib of a man. Men are supposed to be leaders, but we're sitting up here coddling a whole grown-ass man. Excuse me? No. If he was going to say something to her when she was emasculating him, as people want to say, why didn't he say it when she emasculated him in front of everybody else? But see, no, I know guys like Kenneth. He wants to get you alone, or he's there with production, and production is kind of, the whole thing about production is that fourth wall. They're supposed to be invisible, right? We know, we see the footage, we see they're filming, we know that they're filming this, right? But they're not trying to get involved. And even when they had to say, well, come on, Kenneth, why? Because he's gone too far. Can you imagine what he's saying and doing to her if they're not there? All 4'9" of her? Yeah, he's beating on her. Okay, right. But that's okay. But we're gonna call a whole grown arse mind. Yeah, go ahead and call,
because obviously all of the words that she's saying is so much more hurtful than all of the stuff
his emotions are hurt. You know what? If I hurt your emotions enough, how about this, Jeremy? How about you leave that door and never come back over my threshold? How about that? How about you get your own apartment? How about that?
Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Maybe it's the military in
like
me.
that.
maybe it's the military in me, but I don't have no sympathy from no grown man that's able-bodied, that's not dead, out here, making up excuses on why he can't provide, why can't he get a job, why can't he stop depending on women for his sustenance. Like, what man does that? Like, and it's just embarrassing and it's demeaning to watch. And as a black man on top of it, it really disgusts me to see that on TV. Like, Kenneth,
exactly, but it's showing you what some women have to select from. And I don't know when women are going to stop selecting that, but I'm not selecting it. I mean, are you willing to select that? Really? You do better off by yourself. You do better off by yourself, because why are you selecting somebody like that? You see what that is. You see who that is, and you still decide to date him? Are you serious? Girl, please.
But you know what, Aubrey? You brought up coddling. And society has a tendency to coddle these grown ass men. Let me say this.
They start from when they're little boys.
Yeah, because unfortunately, a lot of households come from single parenting, and usually it's the mothers that are the single parents. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the mothers coddle these boys because there's no male influence, there's no men around. I've seen a lot of mothers who treat their sons like a husband, like a spouse. I mean, this is your son.
Absolutely. I've seen it too. And especially in our community. We're good for that. A lot of black women are good for coddling.
And even when
he's a boy. Oh, he's my baby. I don't want him to take the trash out. I'm going to take it out instead. I'm going to lift this water bottles up and all these heavy big water bottles I just got from Sam's Club. I'm going to cut my own grass, even though he's 15 sitting there playing video games 24/7. I think not.
Right.
Are you crazy? Our job as parents are to prepare them for the world to be adults.
Aubrey, I've seen women when their sons are 23, 24, 25 years old, they still doing his laundry. I mean, but they unleash these guys onto
the
society.
World. Yeah, exactly. For women supposedly to date. Oh, and guess what? The first time they get a girl pregnant, guess what the mother says? That's not your baby. That's not your baby. You're not going to do anything to help that baby.
We want a DNA test.
Complete nasty cycle.
We want a DNA test. Really?
And that's fine. I have no problem with that. But here's the problem of what I'm saying, though. You were a single parent. You raised a son. You raised him to be irresponsible. You didn't teach him anything about birth control or protection from sexually transmitted diseases. And now he has a child. And now you're going to start the whole cycle over again. Because most of these mothers aren't talking about their sons getting DNA tests. They're just talking about that son walking away from that baby without any kind of test. Maybe it's his, maybe it's not. But they don't want to know, because guess what? Because the guy ain't even got a job. He's still sitting at home 24 years old playing video games and won't even take out the trash for his own mother. I think not. My son was 11 years old. I got a lawnmower, a used lawnmower, and a weed whacker. And guess what? He started cutting my grass of my house, and everybody on the block that needed their grass cut. He started a whole business at 11 years old. Don't play with me. Yeah. I don't coddle boys, and I don't believe in men that are little boys. No. No.
Right.
The heck with that.
It's a whole lot of little boys trapped in grown men's bodies out here.
And because you know what? And I got to just say this last little piece, which is off the topic, but you know what? Because when you raise your son and you coddle him his whole life from a baby to 10 to 15 to 20, guess where he's going to end up 9 out of 10?
Where?
He ain't going to have no future. He doesn't have any education. He hasn't went to trade school. He hasn't done anything. He's going to end up dead or in jail or a hobosexual like Kenny.
And think about this. This is very interesting. We're talking about this coddling thing because, when we talk about Love and Marriage DC and we talk about Winter's current situation, okay, her ex is 59, almost 60 years old, right? And he left her to go back into his parents' basement. Okay, now who does that at that age? You know what I mean? It's a strange dynamic.
A soft man. A soft male. I'm sorry. A soft male. I misspoke.
I'm running back home to mommy and daddy. Every time something goes wrong in a coddled man's life, they run back home to their parents' house, regardless of how old they are. It doesn't matter. That's a mental state.
Yeah, it is. Because you're a male. You're a male walking around with testicles and a whole peen and maybe some eggs, and you're a male. You're
Or
not a
hot
man.
wings. Or hot wings.
Hot wings. Ooh,
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God.
I just can't. You know, I went out years ago. I went out on a date, and a guy I was starting to have and this is probably right before the summer when my son started cutting grass and really started to man up, if you will. I went on this date, and the guy was my neighbor. He was actually my neighbor, lived down the street from me, and he's single, I'm single. And we're at this really nice restaurant, and I can't really focus on the date because being a single mother, and my son's father was a whole other coast away out in Seattle, and then at that time traveling for his career. And so there wasn't that father figure in his life. And I told him, I started asking him some questions, and he says, you seem kind of distracted. And I told him what was on my mind. He said, okay, I can help you with that. And like he said, the Bible speaks of this. If you don't work, you don't eat. And if you raise your kids to know that and understand it, and that goes for, I'm not saying like if they're 5 years old or 6 years old, they're getting a job. But if you're teaching them from day one, when they're old enough to walk, they're basically old enough to do chores and tasks. Right. Whether that's putting their blocks back in the basket that you have for their little kid blocks, their little Legos, or whatever that thing is. Whether that's making their bed, even if it's not a good job, it's not to your perfection as a mother, as a homemaker. Making that bed up. One of the things that stood out to me about First Lady Michelle Obama was that even though they had all kinds of servants in the White House, her children always made their own bed. There were certain things that she required of both of her daughters because she knew that in life you have to have a certain amount of discipline, you have to have a certain amount of structure, and you have to have life skills. And if you're not teaching those to your kids, but you're busy buying them $200, $300 gym shoes and jeans and this and that, and thinking that's taking the place of you parenting your children, you're sadly mistaken. And you will see later on. Because I always tell my friends, I used to tell them when our kids were growing up, you put the time in now, or you put the tears in later. So take your choice.
Hey,
take
I like
choice.
that. I like
put the
that.
Time in now, or you'll be crying later because they'll be in prison.
I like that, Aubrey. Somebody should put that in the chat. Put the time in now, or put the tears in later, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
I'll get back to this.
That's exactly what's going to happen. And Sabrina Hassan said there's a lot of men out here like that.
Yeah, I lost my place in the chat. I'm sorry, guys. I got so carried away and so fiery about what I was trying to say, because I'm not saying, again, my kids, I'll never say my kids are perfect. Sometimes they just have me just like any parent that has adult children now. But the one thing I can say about them is that they are contributing, productive members of society. And that's always been the case. I taught them, I told them when they were very young, and it's so funny now because I know I didn't mean it with the seriousness that I used to say it, that once they got 18 and they left the house, for them not to come back. But neither one of my children have ever been back home. They lived all around the world. They are successful. They are well-traveled. They are well-educated, well-spoken. And that's because I had expectations for them. But not only did I have expectations for them, but I provided for them the opportunity to go to STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, math. I provided the extra tutoring. Like if it wasn't my strong subject, like English, and certain things that social sciences, political sciences, if there wasn't I made sure that they went to the tutors and paid the money for them to go, because I know education is important, and not just education out of books, but education in working with people, working in community organizations, volunteering. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what, Aubrey, too? My stepson, much to his mother's credit, because my ex-wife, God rest her soul, she was a military brat. And she knew the benefits of the military because her family was all retired military, living very good lives. Okay.
Right.
So as my stepson matured and he started to get jobs here and there, he had a job at Sam's Club, which is a Walmart subsidiary connected to Walmart, for those that don't know. And he was working there, and he got his girlfriend pregnant. So So my ex-wife is like, listen, you're producing things now. Sam's Club is not enough. Okay. She said, you're going into the military. But Ma, I don't want to. You're going into the military. And to this day, 6 years later, he's in the military, stationed in Korea, a wife and 3 children, doing very well.
Mm.
Doing very well.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Because his mother didn't play that. See, there's some women that don't play that.
It's a lot
Okay.
of us out here.
Yeah.
I would say I shouldn't say a lot, but I know for myself and the women so that was another thing. So when you're raising your kids, be careful of the other parents that you're hanging around. Be around other parents that have either been where you're looking to go. So maybe their kids are 5 to 10 years older than your children, and their children have done well. So you can look at, there's a saying in the Bible once again that a tree bears fruit, right? And you know a tree by its fruit. So if you're looking at this person's life, you're looking at their child's life, and you see, well, oh, okay, I don't necessarily want my kid to end up over there in prison like that. And not saying that you can't be friends with that person, but you gotta seek out wisdom. If you don't have it, ask God for it, and then seek it out in other people, because we're here on earth to help one another. And so the parents that I was around, I could see where their kids were doing great things, traveling, seeing the world. My daughter was a very good friend of mine, that when I was frustrated with my daughter, who was at that point in high school and had went from being like a honor roll student, just like a really great student, and a leader in everything that she was doing, right? But at a point where she was so busy with varsity sports, and she was in so many sports and so many activities, that her grades had started to fall down. And I was seriously worried about, well, will she be able to get a scholarship, and go to college and whatnot, and go to a good school? So my friend said, well, oh, I got it. We're going to send her to the Naval Academy. I was like, we're going to send her where? Do you know? And this person had graduated from there. So, and all of his friends, all of his league of friends, who were all out like captains of industries, right? I'm like, we're going to send her where? You saying like, we're going to send her to Harvard. You might as well be saying Harvard. Like, you need an A++ average to get into Harvard, and you talking about senator. I'm just trying to tell you that her grades are like at a C level. She ain't going nowhere with them grades. He said, just follow me. And he told me what to do. And to this day, I thank God my daughter is a whole United States Naval Academy graduate. She's been at least to 4 or 5 continents. She's worked over in Africa. She's worked in Asia. She's seen the Great Wall of China. And that's because I always kept encouraging her, and I always kept guiding her. I didn't take the time to take my foot off the gas when she got to high school. Like a lot of parents, I hear parents saying, oh, well, they're in high school now, we can go play and hang out in the clubs and let them do whatever. No, that's the time when you really need to be on them. When they're in high school, getting ready to go off to college or trade school, or really develop their lives, you need to really be in their lives.
Because think about it. Think about it, Aubrey. Psychologists say, that your prefrontal cortex, your brain, is not even fully developed until you're 25. So these people need continual guidance until they're at least 25 years old. My mother didn't play. She had 3 boys in the inner city. Wow. And I come from the era of behind whippings, belts, whatever she can get her hands on. She did not play. And the men in my neighborhoods, they were all skirt chasers, criminals. They were not good examples. Now, it was fun to look at. It was sexy, but it was not preparing me to become a man, to go out here in the world and live, okay, as a man should. Everything for me was trial and error. And I had to make a concerted effort to say, I did not want to be like those guys. None of those guys were with their children. I didn't want to be that. My father was not with me. I know how I felt. I was not going to visit that onto my children. No way. Okay. So at some point, it's about your environment, but it also comes down to, at the end of the day, you have to learn how to make good, solid decisions.
You do.
Decisions are very powerful. And if you're a good decision maker, you tend to have a pretty good life because you make good decisions. You make bad decisions, you're going to have a pretty bad life. Okay, so I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah, and I want to ask Jeremy, because you're a young guy. Tell us about that journey for you. Like, how did you know how to take control and leadership over your life? Jeremy is a whole entire college graduate,
military man,
and
military
military
man.
man. All honors, and hail him for this weekend on Memorial Day as we celebrate those who have sacrificed for our country. But Jeremy, how did that work for you?
Well, in my opinion, I came from such a very rough environment growing up, on the
Mm-hmm.
west side of Las Vegas, and me and my family never really got along because I felt like I was always like a black sheep of the family, like as far as like me talking differently,
Okay.
me me like not being as rough as everybody else was. I always knew that I was not meant to like live a certain type of lifestyle, that I was supposed to do more. So in high school, after high school, I had went into the military. Originally I was going to go to Alabama A&M University right after high school, but I couldn't afford
Hmm.
it.
Okay.
So I went into the military because I thought that I thought I was going to get more life experiences. It was going to take me out of the hood, which it did. And that I was going
Mm-hmm.
to learn a lot of different life lessons. And it was going to give me a head start on where I needed to be for the future. So then I did that. I did that for 4 years, and like that was really difficult. Plus, my high school was a law enforcement academy too. On top of that, so I've always been
Oh
very
wow.
structured. Yeah, I went to this school called Veterans Tribute Career and Technical Academy, and the specializations was law enforcement, 911 dispatch, CSI forensics, and
Wow.
like for photo forensics and things like that. I was in the law enforcement program, so like I went from there to the military. Then like I did my 4 years as a U.S. like naval engineer for
Mm-hmm.
as a machinist mate doing working with auxiliary diesel engines like reverse osmosis units and things like that.
Wow.
And that was really
Talk
and it
about
was
STEM. Talk about
yeah,
STEM. Woof.
and it really like working in that field and being so strenuous and us having to meet all of those deadlines, to make the ship like constantly be be in a working status. Like I had to learn how to grow up really fast. It was times that I did make mistakes and I almost like really got in trouble, but I would say I being in the military helped me mature at like probably 4 to 5 times the rate that I would have if I was not in there. And then after that, I went straight into college. I almost signed up for another 4 years, but I had to realize what I really wanted to do, and being in the military was not something I wanted as like a life thing. I didn't want to like
Okay.
look back on my life and be like, I
Enjoy.
wish I would have done something else. So then after that, I went straight into college. So I went from high school to military, then college, and
Wow.
I did my little 4 years there, well 5, because I ended up taking a break in 2019 after like my car transmission died, and I like had to quit my job, had to move out of my place, and I had to kind of rebuild because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have enough savings to cover like my car transmission dying. And then I
That's
moved to San
expensive.
Diego.
That's
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah. I moved to San Diego for about 9
Oh
months.
wow. Beautiful
Yeah,
San Diego. Oh my
yeah,
God.
like I in 2019.
Paradise.
Yeah, in July. No, it was definitely not paradise, but like in
Well, I mean,
July
is that because it's not paradise? Is that because it's so expensive?
because it's so
Yeah,
expensive.
it is
It's not
expensive.
paradise if you got to pay for it.
It's expensive. Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay. I stand corrected. All right.
like but
Okay.
then I ended up getting a job like the day after I had moved there. Like I put in I put in an application and put all of like my my mechanic and engineering experience. Ended up getting a job as a warehouse manager for an engineering company, and I was
Wow.
doing that for about a few months until I moved back to Virginia after I saved up the money. And
Mm-hmm.
then I finished out the rest of my college, and then I just recently graduated. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really it. Like I just
Well,
like and now like I'm a financial analyst now, so I just do that.
yeah. Yeah. And you know, and you
Golly,
know, you know,
thank you for
congrats.
sharing that with us.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and congrats to you, Jeremy, for staying the course. It was a rough, bumpy road, but you stayed the course. And I know we deviated a little bit from the show, but I think it was necessary because we got to figure out how to not end up with these Kenneths. Okay, that's
Yeah.
how we deviated because we got to figure out
Right.
because these people are like a virus in society. Okay, and like we play around with the word, hobosexual or whatever, but that has caught on so quickly because so many lonely women, are willing to take these guys on, especially if these guys have talented ping. If they got
And
talented
the
ping
eggs or the hot wings.
and the eggs and the hot wings, they'll have a home for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
because there's women willing to accept that because, and not sure, what Shorty's background is with in as it relates to a father figure, a father in the home,
right?
a man who taught her what a real man looks like and how hard he works to protect and provide and profess his love for his woman. I don't know if she knows anything about that.
And
I just don't know,
and did you
or she knows and she just decided because the pickings are so slim in Atlanta, DC, and many other large areas where Black women are populated, the pickings are so slim that women will accept whatever.
and
Whatever.
did you guys see Shorty's mugshot?
We,
So yeah,
yeah.
she got a mugshot out there. Apparently a DUI that she was
Okay.
arrested for, or whatever. So I'm interested to know her background deeply and who was the guy before Kenneth.
Now that's a question. What was he like? What was he about? Is that
Right,
what you're saying?
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
Because
a
if
very
she
good
has a
question.
pattern or a history of picking these guys, then we could say we could jump on Kenneth all day. But she has a history of doing this. That's a whole nother
Oh,
dynamic.
I definitely think she holds responsibility for her whole life. I believe in that. Your life is you create your life, male, female, boy, girl, or in between, transgender, Black, white, Asian,
Right.
Hispanic. We create our lives. We create our reality. And that's why I'm very tight about my circle of people that I'm around. But with that being said, I want to thank guys that we get all our thoughts out because this has been deep, and I'll have to make a notation on the description that at 1 hour and 10 minutes we deviated to completely from from put a ring on it, and we just started talking about raising our young men and our boys to be real men, to be adults, to be men that their mother can be proud of, that they can be proud of themselves, and that they will be a blessing in the community and not a liability in the community.
Right.
So but guys, I wanted to, where's my schedule, guys? I want to thank you for being here. I see a lot of our old faithfuls were here: Sabrina Hassan, Monique, and as always Monique King and Ellen V, part of our moderator family. And okay, yes, let's put this up on the screen. Jeremy speaks. Go, guy. Jeremy, are you doing a video right afterwards?
You know what? I was not gonna do one, but like y'all really have touched my heart. I'll do it. I'll do one.
Okay, so
a moment.
we're gonna rate Jeremy speaks in a minute. I don't know. Let me see if I can get through. Oh Lord. I don't know what happened here. I got way off on my comments. Guys, I hear what you're saying. DeSosa, I know you rooting for what's his name, for Kenneth, but I'm sorry if you're telling the truth. Whether it's emasculating or not, then like I said, I think she was trying to get him out of her home. So I think she did what she had to do, and I don't blame her, because if you're in somebody's home and they want you to leave and you won't leave, then that requires whatever it takes is what it requires. So but anyway, but I wanted to give you guys to let you know. So we've got up this schedule coming up tomorrow night. We'll be back here again to do Love and Marriage DC, 7 o'clock, 7:30 on Tuesday. this upcoming week, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m., we'll be doing a sit down. Alex and I will be doing a sit down conversation with Sabrina of Ready to Love Potomac. And on the following night, 7:30, guys, get ready because Carmen is coming to town. We'll be interviewing her at 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, June 1st, going into the new month. And guys, we're still looking for you to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button for this video. We're doing great things here on this channel, but we need your support. We can't do it without you. So we hope that you'll consider subscribing, liking this video, and going over to our playlist. We've got many season or 2 seasons now in the can for Ready to Love, where we've done videos on all of those. We've got some other things, including now we're doing Love and Marriage DC. And just go back and check. We've got great conversations where Alex and I doing he says, she says. And of course, we're always butting heads and disagreeing, but we always do it with respect, don't we, Alex?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So, guys, we want to thank you. And Jeremy, you want to tell them about what you're getting ready to do over on your channel before we say goodbye?
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm about to do a put a ring on it. Season 3, episode 10 review. So please make your way over. I really think y'all gonna like this one.
Jeremy about to cut up, y'all.
Ooh, all the cursing words over there. I guess I will give me an adult beverage, and I will turn my fan on, and I will just sit there and just watch Jeremy go all in.
He's about to cut up, y'all.
He's about to cut up. Well, Jeremy, say goodbye. Alex, you say goodbye. Jeremy, say goodbye first.
All right, see you guys later.
See you guys later. That's over at Jeremy Speaks. I'm gonna put that back up. Alex, you got any final words too?
Yes, I want everybody to hit that like. You should not be in here and have not hit that like button. And I want you to encourage, share this video and encourage people to leave comments. We love those comments. We try to answer as many comments as we can. So that's a wonderful thing. And also Cashapp ActuallyAubery. Cashapp ActuallyAubery. Nothing is too small. So she loves coffee, like I always say. She likes to put cream in her coffees, a little bit of sugar. So let her have those ingredients, and let us stay wide awake for these podcasts.
Well, thank you. And guys, on that note, we're out.